Today marks a solemn anniversary. On March 18th, 2005, 20 years ago, the feeding tube was removed from Terri Schiavo. Terri's story gained national attention. A judge ruled that the feeding tube could be removed at her husband's request, even though her family asked for it to remain. She would die of starvation and dehydration nearly 2 weeks later. Her story would also inspire her brother Bobby Schindler to fight for families facing the same situation. And Bobby joins us now. He is also the president of the Terri Schiavo Life and Hope Network. Bobby, thank you so much for joining us and coming on the show today on such a solemn anniversary for you and your family. Tell us what this day means for you all, and also how your Catholic faith, Bobby, has helped you and your family during this time.
Well, it certainly brings back a flood of memories. Each year, it doesn't get any easier thinking about those events, particularly the next 2 weeks, and having to witness my sister die such a terribly unjust and inhumane death. And the fact, and the reason we're doing the work we're doing today, but the fact that Terri's case was not isolated, and it's happening every single day across countless hospitals and nursing homes and hospices is just troubling, obviously, and there's just not much that seems to be being done to stop it or prevent it from happening.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned, and we mentioned, the feeding tube was removed from your sister. And I think a lot of people forget that she, you know, she didn't die instantaneously. Talk to us more about that and just how barbaric it was.
Well, no, I mean, it was the only thing sustaining my sister. That's often, we read in the media, there's so much misinformation that's still out there about my sister, her case and condition. But one was the only thing keeping her alive was the same thing that keeps us all alive, which is food and hydration. Terri had difficulty swallowing because of a brain injury and therefore needed a feeding tube in order to receive her food and hydration. But it was removed on, as you mentioned, March 18th, and it took almost 2 weeks. It's something if we do to an animal, it would be criminal. We would go to jail if we did this to an animal, but yet it happens every single day, and that's why we're doing the work that we're doing, is trying to help other families that are confronted with similar types of situations.
Yeah, and Bobby, talk to us more about that, about your organization and the work that you're doing to advocate for those who are in similar situations as your sister.
Yeah, well, we only get the hard cases. We don't hear all the wonderful stories that exist in healthcare today, and it is a complex system. But nonetheless, it seems to me these past 20 years, decisions are being made awfully quick, particularly when someone experiences a brain injury, to stop treatment, sometimes days, sometimes even hours. Pressure is being put on families to terminate treatment. And you know, we believe, in fact, all the research out there, the research on the brain, it really flies in the face of what should be proper treatment for people that do sustain these brain injuries. They need time. In fact, it's being reported that up to a month before any type of life or decision are made when it comes to brain injuries. So we certainly will stand with families that call us when these decisions are being made so quickly, and use our resources, do anything we can to help the family get the time they want and the treatment they want for their loved ones.
Well, Bobby, thank you so much for joining us and for all the important work you do. God bless you.
Thank you very much.